Welcome to Daily Life Connection. Thanks for joining me again today as we continue to explore the heart of God. Today I want to springboard out of Luke chapter 13 when Jesus is talking and he says, "Some that are last will be first, and some that are first will be last." I want to talk today about the God who gives first prize to the last person across the line. Not our world, is it? In our world, the prize goes to the first person across the line, to the winner, to the successful, to the one who's trained the hardest, the one who has the most skills, the one who's persevered, the one who comes across the finish line first gets the gold, And then the second person gets the silver, and then the third person gets the bronze, and the fourth, and so on, really just disappear from the scene, and we don't really see them again. We don't know their names. They don't get the big advertising contracts, do they? You know, that's not how it is with God. You see, I think one of the reasons that the Pharisees and so on got so angry with Jesus is because of that principle. They felt they were the gold winners. They were the gold medalists of the spiritual world. They had tried harder, practiced longer, observed more discipline, and trained harder to get across the goal line. And then what Jesus really did was he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you ran the race in the wrong direction. You crossed the beginning line, not the finish line. It's the guy way out there at the back that's closest to the finish line, actually. Yeah, you've been running in the wrong direction all the time." God says, "I'm the God who takes those who finish last and gives them the gold." That's an amazing truth for us today. I just love it. I love that our God does that. You know, he roots for the underdog, if you will. I mean, we love it, don't we, when we see a story or a movie and the underdog wins, the last become first, and the first, who are maybe proud and arrogant and cocky, end up not being the winners. And that's because that heart of God is in us. There is something in us that recognizes that's like the kingdom of God. Those that are last, those that feel like, oh my goodness, I just am not making much spiritual progress. And you know, I think for those of us who are getting older, and I know that's not many of you, but for me, it's kind of that whole idea. The longer I live, the more I realize how little progress I've made in so many areas of my life. And you could despair about that. You could feel like, you know what, I'm at the back of the race pack. And then you hear God say, "Whoa, stop the race. Everybody turn around. The ones at the back of the pack are now at the front." That's God. And that's who he is. I don't know about you, but I almost feel like God has a good laugh at that. Those of us who are struggling and striving and working and sweating and to be the best Christian we can possibly be, and we've gritted our teeth and we bit the bullet and we've denied ourselves and so on, and he's going, the last are first. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't, put effort into our Christian journey. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that if we think our efforts to be at the front of the pack are what's going to get the rewards, we're mistaken. The reality is in the kingdom of God, and Jesus declares it plainly, and he exemplifies it often. Jesus basically says it's the least, it's the last, it's the poor in spirit, isn't it? Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who recognize they don't have the ability to even get out on the race course, let alone be at the front of the pack. Blessed are those, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. They get the gold medal. They get the gold medal. So what I want us to do today is just relax and quit putting ourselves down when we're not at the front of the pack. Stop beating yourself up for not being the spiritual gold star leader. Because the reality is, in the kingdom of God, the last are first, and the first will end up last. Sometimes the first need to end up last because they need a little more humility and reality in their life. That was the Pharisees. They thought they were first, and Jesus said, "You're the last ones getting in. Everybody else is going in ahead of you." Yeah, because he turned the race around, and he sent it in the other direction. That's good news today. God, who gives the gold medals to the last in the race. Well, let's think about that and thank God for it. And we'll talk again tomorrow.